I'm blanking on what I was gonna talk about. Wait, give me a second, this isn't helping. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Shaellen from Everybody Eats, and today, me and the Everybody Eats crew are coming out to see the experimental folk horror film by Mark Jenkin, Enys Men. So my knowledge coming into the film, I'm acutely aware of the actress Mary Woodvine. She's been in films like The Lark and Bait. I'm pretty sure she's the partner of Mark Jenkin. I'm really excited to see it. It's shot on 16mm, which I think is always a really cool feature to have, but sometimes it can be a crutch. It can look beautiful, but that doesn't always make it a great movie. In terms of the plot, I've tried to keep myself relatively blind to it, but I know there's going to be some kind of reality bending psychosis situation going on. So I'm really excited to see how that pans out. I know Kris, Sophia, and Fumbah are going in entirely blind, so that'll be exciting to see. And I'm hoping to get some spooks. I really am. I've been kind of underwhelmed by a lot of the horror that I've seen recently, so I'm hoping the experimental folk horror elements will really pop out. I'm not always a big fan of folk horror. I think of like Midsommar, especially when I think of like modern folk horror, The Wicker Men, things like that. I'm excited to see something that's like scaring my boots off, you know? I'm excited to see that. So we'll jump back to the crew and we'll see their thoughts. Hey, Sophia, thoughts on Enys Men?
I came here out of friendship obligation.
Yeah, you did. Hell yeah.
I am going in completely blind. I didn't look up the synopsis. I don't care to know what it is yet. There's a robot over there.
All right, Fumbah. What's good, King?
Oh, what's good, guys?
How are you feeling? How are you feeling about Enys Men?
Feeling good. I know nothing.
I'm realizing I made everyone come to this.
Like, can you give us the invite? And we're just like, sure.
So no reference?
Nah.
Love it, Kris.
I'm like on the same page. All I know is that it's filmed in a certain visual style that seems like, you know, old, like 70s. Early 80s, kind of like saturated.
16mm, very exciting.
Yeah, like it just looks
right?
really, really nice.
That's
So
right. Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it's about. I don't even know if Enys Men is how it's pronounced.
It's Cornish for Stone Island.
Oh.
Yes.
But yeah, other than that, excited.
I'm ready to have fun.
Yes.
Hell yeah, we are. Can we get a Power Rangers high five? Woo!
I feel like I watched it wrong.
Well, if you guys had to say, what is this movie about?
It's about a woman.
In isolation.
Well, I won't even say that. It's an island punishing a woman for picking a flower.
Yeah, no. I made a decision that 15 minutes in that I'm not going to understand what's going to happen. So that's why I went to go get another beer.
Oh.
I don't know who the fuck that other lady was, because I swear to God she was there by herself. So I don't know if that's an allegory.
It was her.
So that's a younger version of her?
Yeah.
Or is that Earth? Or is that like her interpretation of the land that she's on?
No, it's definitely
Or just
her
like-
because
The beginning did drag, but that's something that I think I can appreciate about experimental films is that there's a lot of tone building, and that's something that I struggle with. Like, I'm a big fast forwarder. Like, if I think things are going to just drag, but I think it's about like the immersion of it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to give it too much credit, but that does add to the sense of like paranoia and like monotony to like go through that process over and over again. I think it like served its point well. It did feel like relentless, but I also think that's the point. Like, it's
Imagine writing that.
I know, and I'm kind of like, it's one of those things where I think writers can get so invested in their vision that they don't really think about like
How it's gonna play out.
yeah, how it's gonna play out. Like,
Yeah.
it kind of gets in your own head for so long, and I'd be curious to see how many edits they had for this, or like how many rewrites they had. Like, see the things that they took out.
Yeah,
Because
I'd
I'm
be
like,
curious to hear
what did
that.
you leave in? Like,
I'm not
I
sure.
feel like I understand it. I feel like I'd understand this movie more if I didn't watch it.
If you didn't watch it at all?
Yeah, like watching that, I just feel like it didn't answer anything. It didn't raise any questions. It didn't bring up any like points. I
Raised a lot of questions.
don't know what I just watched.
how do you feel?
Tired.
Yeah. I think this is my problem with experimental narratives is that like there is a through line, but you have to like really squint to find it. Especially if you're not used to watching films like this. I do think that there is an audience for it. I just don't think it's particularly for me. Visually, it's awesome. I think I really loved the use of 35mm and the colors. Like I thought that was really dope. But generally speaking, yeah, I have no fucking clue what this movie means.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like I still was able to enjoy it once I stopped trying to figure out what it means. So I'll give it like a 6. Like it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie by any means. It's just not for me.
I'd probably also say 6 because it's not necessarily bad. If you have, sound design was on.
Sound design was awesome.
On top of it. So, yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, I was listening in and I just got out of the movie.
Oh, nice.
I was thinking the same thing.
Nice.
I'm gonna give it a 6. Just
Wow.
because, like, for me, every single moment I was telling myself, just stay in the moment, Kris. Just stay in the moment and stay with this movie. It was visually appealing, and that's as much as I can give it.
I mean, I will say cinematography's great, right?
Yeah.
Like the shots were great. They didn't feel entirely purposeful. All of it felt like very atmospheric, like it was really setting the tone, but not really purposeful in terms of like symbolism, besides the sevens that I noticed, like the women behind her while she was looking at the flowers, the 7 flowers, the 7 kids.
Yeah, I never
Besides,
noticed
I was like begging for meaning, so I was just counting things and like looking for colors, and it was consistent. Like on that end,
That's the point of the movie.
7 red.
No, the point of the movie is for you to find, like, there's like, what if there is like no narrative, like intentional, no meaning, like
So you mean that
intentionally-
it's applying aestheticism?
I guess, but
It
like in the
feels
way,
heavily
that like there's so little meaning that you watch the
derive
whole
whatever it
movie
is. Yeah.
finding one.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, somebody's
those are-
dead in this.
those are,
Like,
like, the
people
worst
are
ones.
not alive in this.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not doing this to be different. 6.5. Like,
Oh, okay, better than us.
mostly, no, but my thing is, I think it's because, like, there was intentionality. I didn't like it. I'm also realizing I have dragged you guys to see 2 experimental films that, like,
Back to
I have
back.
left being like, my bad, guys. Like, oops.
I like Skinamarink, actually.
Did you like Skinner?
I didn't.
With you after.
I've never
love
seen
it.
an experimental film until the.
Yeah, but the thing is, like,
Yeah.
what bucks me up with like experimental films is that they show the best parts in the trailer, or like it's all about atmosphere and like the
Getting
vibe
you
of it's
in the
cool.
scene.
The vibe
But then
is
seeing it in practice, it's like, oh, I forget the first 40 minutes of every experimental film
It's
are
nothing.
random shots stringed together
nothing.
with like little sounds in the background.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
all that it is. There's no narrative cohesion. Like it's just fucking stills. That's like
Yeah.
all that it is.
I felt so bad when I was watching this one because there was a time period where I was like, dude, are we 40 minutes in and I don't know what the fuck is going on?
That loss of time is also a part
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
experience.
But also really bad because I kept like going in and out. My eyes were rolling and shit. I was
I've
just
done
like,
that
am I
every time we've
snowing?
gone out for movies that I felt bad.
I know. You
this
should
time.
keep telling us.
I know, I'm sorry.
I did this time again.
This is all your fault,
I
Shaellen.
know. You know, I'd be curious to see what Avi thinks.
Abby would love it.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
curious to see what he
Avi
would pull
will.
from it. Because I
Right.
feel like all of us are very like, grab us in the first 10 or we're done. And I feel like Avi is like, more than me, is more mature in that sense.
Well, no, it grabbed me. It then just didn't want to take the next step.
Yeah.
that's
Hold on. If you like really working your brain around shit, this is for you.
Yeah.
If you're kind of not that kind of moviegoer and you just want to zone out, or you're just there for like some kind of level of thrill, no.
If you like a solid plot line with a tangible
I wouldn't-
line,
okay, that's-
like,
A little loaded.
not even, not,
He's like, if you like something creative or good.
That's not even what I mean. What I mean is just like if you want something that is that you can track very easily without having to piece everything together, then yeah, like
Yeah.
like,
I'd say avoid experimental folk horror in
basically,
general.
if you don't like experimental films, don't watch this shit.
If you aren't down with timelines that are more complex than Nolan, not for you.
That closes it. We got kicked out.